Hello, and talking about the weather, yesterday we had the first snowfall here in the mountains of Quebec. It's beautiful, not much, but a reminder that seasons come and go, and we're getting into cold season now with all the perks. One of them being a very tight skin. Very good for me. So, how's everyone today? I hope everyone's doing well and you have your questions lined up. No one has entered the chat yet. So let's see if anyone's here. There are a few eyes on the monitors. Just want to make sure that I'm audible and I haven't forgotten to switch one of my buttons to make sure that you can hear me. Let's see who's here today. Come and say hello. Dean, you had an error with the chat before. Oh, interesting. Not now. You are that is the Max and Training Team YouTube channel because we're streaming on both Max and Training Team. And now I'm frozen. That's interesting. Um, anyone else? Um, anyone else? Because it could be local. We need to make sure that if there's any technical problem, um, not anymore. Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? No one else? That's it. Dean, everyone else is just pretending they're watching. Come on. I've got some interesting stuff. There you go. AI football. What was the question? Good one. The question is, can you hear me? Can you see me? And am I frozen? I could do max headroom, something like that. Max headroom. That is for the older ones. Who doesn't know who Max Headroom is? Hey, Drake, how are you? Hope you're well. So it appears that I'm audible. You can see me, you can hear me. And yeah, very soon we are going to start. I'm going to give it one more minute or so. See who else. We have around 20 people currently. I look very fluid. Yeah, max headroom. Yeah. I don't think that's very difficult to do now with some sort of AR kit, phone, and real-time video. Yeah, maybe I find time to to do something like that. First of all, for the show, instead of my face, maybe I show an avatar. Um, Hockey 2, hello. Okay, so I didn't get too many questions, but whatever I got was very interesting. So, just to let you know, um, while you're here and you want to ask questions, if possible, please preface your question with capitalized question. It helps me distinguish from general comments and conversations that happen in the chat. Okie doke. So let's start with this. I have my empty. Oh, I'm on the Create with Max on. I forgot to change my banner. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you live how to change. There you go. So now we're getting the new Ask the Trainer thing. Yeah, I knew I missed something. I always miss something. So let's try this one more time. There you go. So now we have the Ask the Trainer. Anyway, um, all our shows are cool. So if the branding is not exactly what you expected, it doesn't matter. The quality of the show is always there. And I'm going to start with one of the questions, which was I'm going to show you. There we go. And I'm going to copy it from the spreadsheet. I didn't prepare anything. So let's go to the banners. I'm going to create a new banner. Everything is happening on a different monitor. And of course, the spreadsheet didn't let me copy. I have to press Control C a few times to get it to copy. And there you go. So add banner. And the question is, what is the best or correct way to export a bump normal or bump map AOV for compositing with the violet OpenGL shading? Yeah, the violet is what we call tangent space. So you can use it in post and do all sorts of things. Now, let me first explain to you the value of asking questions. Now, there is in Redshift, and I think I'm going to show you. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to go to maximum. If I have something good, I'm going to use that for a thumbnail. So let's very quickly start with a very simple setup. Now, this is going to interest um, all of you. Anyone that works in post, and or if you're doing any games, or if you want to create your own normal maps and stuff like that, what I'm going to show you is going to interest you. Now, one thing I would like to show you, I'm going to bring up there you go. If you go to the Max and Training Team YouTube channel and check out the quick tips, what you see here is a quick tip about how you can get any three-dimensional scene, any 3D scene, and create a tangent normal image out of it. You can render this. And then what you see here, this is a bump map. So I use the 3D scene, and I'm going to turn off. So this is the scene, and the scene created this, right? So you can go, I'm going to copy and paste this quick tip so you know exactly what it is. And I'm going to show you an extension of that. And I think that next week, for next Thursday, what I'm going to show you today is going to become a quick tip as well, because it's a very interesting topic. And what I was going to say is that because a user asked this question, and the Daniel Mountford from the UK, because my very good friend now, Daniel, asked the question, I had to dig in and find a way to do that. And it becomes knowledge for everyone. So let's take a look. Let's see. Okay. So let's go and create a material that has a bump map. Just a simple Redshift material. Let's double click. And I'm going to go here and do it max on noise. Max on noise. Boop, boop, boom. And what I'm going to do here is get the bump map and get my elevation, put it in the bump map, and you will see the bumps. And just to make it a bit more prominent, zoom in. Let's change the noise to Luca, my favorite noise. And I think for all intents and purposes, this is perfect for example. Okay. So we have this bumpy sphere. Now, what I want to do is create a tangent space AOV that only has the bumps, so I can go and create sort of the lighting, enhance the lighting in my compositing software. But there's a problem. And the problem is that if you go to the AOV manager, and if you want to see some AOVs, you have to set it to bucket mode. We're going to create some AOV here. And just to make it faster, I am going to go to Redshift Advanced and set this to 0.1, just to make it extremely fast to render. You can see it renders much faster now. So what I'm going to do here, and one more thing I like to do, because I don't like the global illumination irradiance pass. Now it's going to just render directly. So if you go here and you look for normals, so somewhere down here, it should say normals, LMN ABC normals. There you go. And here are the normals. And I'm going to go here and say, okay, show me the normals. No, these are world normals of the geometry. We do not get the expected normals directly getting an AOV. And these normals are not tangent space normals. These normals are useful because you can encode in a two-dimensional image the orientation of the polygons, right? So you can see, if you look on the other side here, you see the Y's, which are green, or the blues, which are Z, or the reds, which are the X, and so forth. So although this is a two-dimensional image, we can see where each polygon is facing, so we can do some effects. So this is global. But when you're doing tangent space, that is a bit different. So let's get rid of this AOV, and let me show you how you would go about doing it. So there is one of the most powerful nodes is the state node. And the state node provides us with some information about various geometrical aspects. I'm trying to get this to give us as much space as possible so you can see what's going on. Okay. So you can look at the normals. So we get the surface normals. Now there's a normal and a normal no bump. And there's an assumption that if this is a no bump, this is a with bump. But there's a very particular technical reason why this will not work in this case. But any case, you can see we can have the polygon normal, not the rounded normals. We can have the various tangents. These are useful for various other things. Some of them are not really visible, UVs, ray origin, and stuff like that. But it doesn't really matter. We are going to work with the normal. But this is not the normal we want, okay? We want the normal that has something to do with this. So let's start tricking the system to give us what we want. The number one thing I'm going to do here is, instead of a bump map, and I'll show you how I discovered this. This is an accidental discovery. You can see that the bump map goes into the standard material, and then the whole thing is exposed in the output. And this is what the surface looks like. The displacement, on the other hand, it happens independent of this. And there's one little thing that is not always obvious. If you use a displacement node instead of a bump node, and you put the same thing here, and you put this over here, I'm going to get rid of this. If you keep the displacement at 1 and everything else default, it actually gives you exactly the same thing this gives you over here. So in this particular case, the bump I had, I'm going to use it as a displacement, and it's displacing the polygons slightly, but not to an effect where that is visible. But internally, it applies a bump map as well. To see that, if you go to your object and you go to your render tags and get a redshift object tag, and you go to your geometry, you will see that over here it says enable auto bump mapping. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Just clearing my throat. Sorry about that. And this happens automatically. So internally, the displacement does create a bump map as well. The good thing about this bump map, which is indistinguishable from the previous one, is that now if I take this and put it here, the bump map is available. So what we're seeing here is a bump map that is global, but includes, sorry, a normal map that includes a bump map. So let's see how we can put this together so that we get the AOV that was asked by the viewer. So I want my object to be bumpy, and let's go and create an AOV. So say AOV, store color to AOV. Good. Let's intercept the beauty. That's what we do. AOV. Let's go here, create a new custom AOV. Let's call it something meaningful. And I'm going to take this normal and put it here, and go now to my AOVs and look at the skug. And we have this, okay? But the the coordinate system is not correct. And that's because if you go to that YouTube tutorial, we do need to do two things to make this work properly. Number one, you go to the state node, and instead of transform space for whatever uses coordinates, world, we turn it to camera because the camera dictates where we are viewing this from. Okay, so now from the camera point of view, anything that's pointing to the relative X, anything that's pointing to the right, Doesn't matter how we view our little sphere, back, the front. Any polygon that's facing to the right is going to be red. Anything that's facing up is going to be green. These are negative numbers, so don't really make sense. So the transformation we need to do, and if you don't remember it, you can check it out on the tutorial. We go here and we do a change range, a color change range, because we are playing with the color. Oops, no, a vector change range. Sorry about that. So change, and it's a vector change range. We need to take this vector in and this vector out. Okay, and go here. And let me remember, I think it's 1, 1, minus 1, and minus 1, minus 1, 1. Fantastic. So is this it, or is it minus 1, minus 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 1? It's one of the two. Okay, it's one of the two. There you go. This is it. So always try something. If it doesn't look good, try the other thing. And this now is exactly that tangent normal that was requested by the user, and it includes the bump map. So let's see what takeaways we take from this. All right, let's look at the takeaways. I'm going to show my face here, and I think this may be, let's see if this is good enough. Yeah, this is nice and technical, and I'm going to use this frame, what you're seeing on your screens, for my very good friend, mentor, Dr. Sassy, to use as the thumbnail. Smile. There we go. We have us a thumbnail. So the takeaways from this are, number one, ask your questions because it helps me learn things, right? That's number one. Number two, there's a way for you, without using a bump per se, to create an AOV that contains the bump using this normal. Now, if anyone's wondering, if you do the normal, no bump, this is what we get. It's a normal without a bump. So basically, we are hijacking that ability of the displacement to generate an automatic bump map, and that's why we can do this. Fantastic. If anyone has any questions, let me know, and let me see in the... Let's see here. Let's see. Nothing. God's Hammer, a watch group. Can you elaborate? Okay, so what else? Sorab, how are you? Excellent. And yeah, there don't seem to be any questions. So let me go to another little topic over here. Okay, so that's answered. Okay, here's one. Here's a good one. The question is how to create. I'm going to create it just because it's nice to have things on screen. So let me go and create a banner. New banner. Paste. Again, I have to double copy. And then go here, select all and paste. And I'm going to add the banner and show the banner. And the banner says, how would you create a scene node that would parametrically generate an outline of a spline? We do have a node that does that. Let's go full screen. Let's turn off the camera here. Let's create a new document and restart. New document and reset our layout. Okay, so let's create a text spline. Let's go text spline. And we can only do this inside nodes, by the way. And let's, okay, so let's create a node spline. You can do it using a nodes mesh or a modifier. It depends. You can do it any way you want. I'm going to go for a node spline and make this a child. Let's go to my nodes because I want to select it and have my little setup here. And I'm going to right click and input we need the child object. There you go. And we need to get this geometry. And we have an outline spline node. And what you do here, you connect these up. You can see it's a bit small, but you have an outline spline. Now, having said that, it doesn't have provisions for avoiding overlaps and stuff like that. Maybe, is it plain start selections? No, it's just a plain outline. And if a letter, for example, here, it's got 2 points, you can see it has 2 points, you are going to get these sort of things. If it was 1 point, it would connect it up. But this way, you can use any spline and create an outline, or you can create multiple outlines and so forth. Oh, Marco, how you doing, Marco? Many good friends here. Okay, so yeah, this is the node. You cannot use it directly in the object manager, so you have to be, aware of that. But that will be the way to do this. Excellent. So let me see if there's any comment. Anything else? Anything else? Here's a question. Hello, Anonymous Effects. How can I create a water splash with liquify? No, you won't use liquify. Well, splashes specifically, if you want them, you could attempt to use the liquids, but the way our liquids work now, they're more catered towards more viscous liquids. It doesn't mean you cannot, you shouldn't try. So let's try something. Let's try something. I'm going to make a little container with some fluid, and I'm going to throw some other fluid with it and see what happens. So let's see, I'm going to make a square container and make it editable. Let's cut this, select everything, give it some thickness and add some caps. So this is my thing. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this because I want to create a container, and I'm going to go UL, select all this plus the inside, and I want to invert the selection. So select, invert, and delete everything outside. Now, I'm going to close polygon hole and revert normals for this, invert normals, reverse normals. There you go. So I can use this as a container just to fill it with fluid, so I can throw something on it. So this is the container, and this is the bucket. Bucket. There we go. Bucket. So get the container. Let's go to simulation emitters and create a liquid fill emitter. So this is going to fill with liquids. I'm going to turn this off, turn this on, go here, add a simulation. It's simulation what I'm looking for. Come on, slowly. Collider. Good. And let's fill this with liquid. It should fill up. Just give it a second. It's thinking, sending stuff to the GPU. Come on, send the stuff to the GPU. There you go. So I have the stuff. Let me hide the bucket. And now, let me go and create some sort of blob and make it splash. I don't even know how good that's going to be. Boop. Let's put it here and use this as a liquid fill emitter. There you go. So that's just another one. And hide this. And we should see a splash. Let's go here, 600. Now, talking about splashes, what we are not going to see is sheet. Yeah, so there we go. Let's see. Will it work? No. So what else can I do to make this work? I can trick it. So let's get rid of this. Maybe if I splash an object in here. So let's go and do a rigid body. I don't even know. if this is going to work, but let's assume. Let's just do this if it's going to splash. Oh, it doesn't splash. That's interesting. Why doesn't it not splash? Huh, that is very, very interesting. Do I need mass? More mass? More mass? More mass? That's an interesting thing. I haven't tried this, so that's why we're failing. Yeah. So I think that we won't be able to get a splash here. So the answer is if you expect to just throw liquid into liquid on an object to create a splash, you cannot do that. That's number one. If you have to do that, you will have to find a way to fake it where you can do an emission of liquids. What else we can do? Maybe there's a set of parameters that we can play around with. If you go to the properties of the liquid and play around with the various viscosities and surface tensions and all that, one, not that it's going to do anything. Collisions, okay, we have interaction mass. We don't have bounce or something like that. So I don't know how that is going to work. I'm going to put a huge mass here and see if that's going to affect and how it's going to affect it. So 0.001. Let's do that again. We're getting much noisier particles. Okay. Let's go on the side and see if this is going to do anything meaningful. Not really. So we're getting some sort of splashing, but I'm not extremely happy with this. There is some sort of thing going on. Let's go simulation liquids. Let's make this smaller to see if we get anything a bit more meaningful with more particles that interact with each other a bit more. Okay, a bit more of a splash. I don't know if this is because of the sphere bouncing down and then upwards, or is it genuinely because the sphere is causing the particles to displace and create the splash. This is the last attempt. Yeah, the liquid body is too. Just gonna see if we get anything. There you go. So yeah, kind of. One thing about fluids is that you do need to be patient and you do need to play around with the settings. One of the things I wish we had, hopefully it's coming, is a sheet, the ability to do sheets, because currently if we mesh this, it's going to be blobby and it doesn't create those sheets. But yeah, anyway, this is how you could start doing it. And by the way, we're investigating ways where any file I make here, I can instantly, within the next few minutes, upload it somewhere where it's available for people to download. We're still working on the security aspect of this, but we want to find better ways of allowing you to, get hands on exactly what we're working on in that minute. So, for all intents and purposes, I will save this later on, so that maybe I find a way to upload it. Anyhow, there's some comments here from Sorab. Number one, I'm in super fast mode today. Yeah, I know. I think it's the um, coffee. Yep, the sheeting. That is very important to get convincing liquids. Yep, it is too viscous. Exactly, by definition. Please go watch on University my tutorials about the liquids, because they have some information that is quite important about the viscosity iterations, surface iterations, and the values over here, viscosity and surface tension. Okay, and yes, without the sheet meshing, it's not going to look good, whatever you do. If it's a static splash, you can sculpt it. But for animated splashes, you do need to do certain things. Now, if you're not going for an uber realistic one and you want something more stylized, There was a tutorial I did a long time ago on Cineversity when I was doing stylized things. Let me give it a quick, so Cineversity. Let me just go quickly on Cineversity. Maybe I should put my face here so you can see. I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. And I just want to see if it's available. So splash. I'm searching for the word splash to see if that is going to come up. No. Splash. Darn cartoon. I don't remember the titles. I don't remember the particular title for. Oh, look at that! Found it. Let me show you which one it is. Hello, hello. That was me. So hide this. It's is it a quick tip? Tune animation using multiple static objects. Oh no, this is so. This was a. Let me paste it. I'm gonna paste it here. So paste. Excellent. There you go. This is how you can independently create a number of objects and then animate them as one object. So you can sculpt them independently each frame. And this is for cartoony stuff. And then basically we're going to use MoGraph to do that. And you can create a nice little animation of these things and bake it out. So this would be the final result. Yep. So yeah, it was a quick tip. I forgot I did this quick tip. There you go. So for non-photorealistic splashes, you can sort of fake it that way. But for proper liquid splashes and so forth, the liquid solver is not quite there yet. You may be able to get it, but you require quite a bit of tinkering and tweaking. Okay, let's see what else do we have. See if we have any question. Oh, there we go. So how would you get rid of the original spline in that case? And this pertains to the previous answer. The node itself has a setting for inside and outside, or. Okay, so basically you can go outside and keep it. You can go inside. It has to be smaller. Oh, interesting. It doesn't work. Yeah. If you just keep it outside, it's just gonna do that. So again, not perfect, but it works. If you want to animate it, one thing. If you want it to be correct, I would do it in Adobe Illustrator with an outline path. They have a more complex algorithm that manages to do these kind of things. Okay, so that's this. That's that. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? And an eye on the time. Good. We're just 35 minutes in. Okay. All right. So this is something that was asked last week, and I didn't have time. So, okay. Let's go to that file. So the question is, it's a very long question, but essentially someone wants to create a firefighter, and they want a hose that is interactive. So there's some sort of head or some sort of character. Maybe I have a file here. Let me just do this. Come on, dragon. There we go. So I've just got this animated character, and he's just turning around and so forth. Now this is based on rope. There's an unfortunate thing because this could have been done using IK, but there is one thing that makes it not ideal because IK has dynamics. So just in case, it's for tails. So they made it for tails. So it's got its. It doesn't work for hoses unless one side of the hose is free. So let's go and get a walking. I wrote walging. King, walking. It's fine. Turn around, walking, tripping. Come on. Just a walking character. There we go. That's good enough. Good. And let's get the puppet. So a male puppet. There we go. And just go to the puppet over here and drag this in the source. And yeah, we're going to have some sort of walking scenario. Yeah, I made it a child of that. I shouldn't have made it a child. Did I make it a child? Don't even know what's going on here. There we go. What? Yeah, that's odd, but I don't care. I'm not going to contemplate this too much. Now, let's assume that we want this guy to have a tail. Okay. Let's go and create some joints. So it's going to be fairly simple. Let's go to character. Let's get the joint tool and let's control click because that's how we create and control click. And let's create a little tail. Good. Fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is call this tail. Good. And let's put the tail wherever we want. So let's go and identify some joint or something like that. Control right click to find something. Upper leg, hip. Right, so let's find a hip of sorts. Must be a hip somewhere here. So select it, press S to go here. Hips, there you go. Here are the hips. I'm going to put the tail in the hips. And you will see, beginning this, you just see the tail totally rigid. You can see it's very, very rigid here. We want to give it a bit of a wiggle. So let's take the tail. Let's select this and let's add many ways to do this. Let's go rigging and add a IK. Let's drag the last one, the end here. And you can see nothing happens. But if you go to dynamics and you activate them, look at that. So we can increase the strength, the position hold, the rotation hold. So now we have something that is, could be, it's a plausible tail, okay? And you rig whatever you're going to rig with this, and you can go and play around with various parameters. It's got drag, it's got all sorts of things, strength. 100% is going to make it 100%. Anyway, you get the idea. The problem with this, this was designed for tails, wings, appendices, and stuff like that. It wasn't designed for hoses. And that causes the problem that we can't pin both sides of it and have the middle sag. Now, the only reason I'm showing you this is because a lot of people will attempt to do it that way and then use all sorts of goals and stuff like that to pin it. But it's not going to work. So everything I just showed you was just to show you how you can't do it. And of course, you know how to make a tail now. All right. It's very important to know how to make a tail. But what if we want, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, there you go. Just sit there. Now, 75, 74, 74. So it loops. So now I want to create something that I can tie it, a necklace or the actual hose I wanted for the breathing apparatus. Okay, so let's begin with something to hold this in place. We're going to need something for the mouth. I'm going to call this mouthpiece. So mouthpiece. P. I can't even type. Do you think it's yeah, pickic, mouth pickic? I don't care, right? I do not care. So we want to get the mouth pickic. If anyone finds out what that means, let me know. I want to put it where the mouth is. So the easiest way I prefer is you press Shift S for snapping, and you just click here and drag until it snaps to the chin, right? So now I have something over there. Good. Turn off the snapping. So I have this here, maybe make it the Z. I may or may not use this as a renderable item. I just want it here for now because it's going to allow me to pin my rope. I'm going to do something to pin my rope. So you can place it wherever you feel the rope should be pinned. Okay. So there you go. I have the mouthpiece. Now I want to make sure that it's pinned to the head. So I can select that, press S, it's the head, and put it here. And would it move? Let me see. Will it move? No, because that is the geometry and it's using a deformer, a skin deformer. So I need to go and find the joint that controls the head. If you want to find that, you just go here, click once, and you see it's the head bind. Okay, so you can right click here and select object in manager, then go here, press S, head bind, and see if we can bind this to the head bind. Let's see, where's the head bind? And it was somewhere around here. I can't find it, so I'm going to undo and do the opposite. So spine bind, oh, lost the head bind. This is what happens when I have to deal with so many objects. Press S, the head bind is here. So what you can do is, let's see if this is going to work. Can I do this? Did you know that you can open another instance of this and make it a child of the head bind here? There you go. So if you have very long hierarchies, I think this one was, it was either Matthew O'Neill. Yeah, Matthew O'Neill, MASH, one of the first ever tutorial makers for Cinema 4D, came up with this. Amazing. There's a question by Sorab, which is a nice question. Why not use constraints, right? And yeah, it's correct. You can use constraints. It's because I'm just showing now a few other things. If you want to do it using a constraint, you can. And you can use your constraint commands here. So there's some commands that allow you to do constraints. The first you select what you want to constrain, I think. Then you select the head bind. Then you select what you want it to constrain to, and then you would go and say, if I destroy it, doesn't matter. Add position constraint, and make sure that you maintain original. Right. So you can do it that way. I think I did the opposite. No, what did I do here? Anyway, I did something. I shouldn't have done it. Undo. So I'm going to prefer the other method just to make sure. The fewer things you do, so a constraint involves a tag. If you have problems, you don't exactly know what caused the problem or not, correct? So you have one more variable you have to contend with. Whereas when I'm trying to show how to make a hose, it's more practical for me to just stick to the facts. And the facts here are that I want the head, the neck, press S, find it here. There's the neck. And oh no, that's the one I clicked. I want the one that has the head constrained to it. Don't forget about that. So look at all that now. The gap has opened because I have all this. Sometimes it just, there you go. So go back here, select this, head bind, select object manager. There you go, press S, head bind, and let's put it here, get it over with, head bind. There we go. So now they should be moving around. Fantastic. That's all I wanted to show, right? So let's get a second one, which is going to be, let's say, the end of the whatever we're making here. So let's copy, click outside and paste this, mouthpiece. Let's find something else. Let's find this object. What's this constrained to? Abdomen. Select the abdomen. Go here, and we have the spine, we have the hips, we have the spine bind, and the hips bind. I think it will be the hip spine bind. Let's try this one. So right click, select object manager, open the manager, go here, press S, spine bind. Let's move this here. And let's press Shift S to move it. Shift S, move it down here. There we go. Shift S again, rotate it. We should have two nice positions now. So Shift S and Shift S. Let's see if this is going to work. There we go. So we have the two endpoints. Fantastic. Now let's go and draw a spline. Now it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a bit janky, but hey, doesn't matter. So let's go and create a spline. Let me click here and click here and click here, click here, 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 and I don't even know, here, and that's it. Not bad. If you want to use splines, it's better not to use Bezier for ropes. B-spline, Akima, kind of, I mean, although it doesn't hugely make a difference because it's going to use a subdivided spline, but in any case, it doesn't matter. So now what I want to do, right, I have this, I'm going to put it back to, no, I like B-splines. I like how they flow. I'm going to leave it as it is. Now you can see I made a little mistake with my snapping. Just want to bring this over here, right in the middle. There you go. So I'm getting my spline here, just change it a bit so it's nice and smooth. It is going to drape down. Good. So turn off my snapping. And I'm going to turn the spline into a rope. So simulation into a rope. Okay. Now, if I press play, you can see that it's just going to fall down. So nothing really interesting. So what do I want to do here? And I'm going to move my spline. I think I was in a different frame. I wasn't in frame 1. So press Shift S. Let's go back here, put it here. Yes, I was not on frame 1. Make sure you're on frame 1 when you're drawing it, because when I rewound, it ended up there. Okay, I'm just going to leave it freestanding for now, because I'm going to connect it to these two things. So we have the two, this and this, okay? And what these now are, I'm going to convert them, right-click, into cloth objects, right? So we have two cloth objects, 1 and 1, 2, okay? And if I go here and let's close this a bit, there we go. So cloth and cloth, and they're both selected, okay? So I'm going to go to the mix animation and pin them 100%. That means that although they're cloth objects, they will still follow whatever animation is imposed upon them. You can see they're cloth, but they're where they need to be. The reason I converted them into cloths is because I want to use a connector tag on the spline, and the connector tag requires simulation objects, dynamic objects, in order to connect to. So I'm going to go to my simulation tags, go get a connector. I'm going to create update live and extend this until I start seeing enough of these connections. There you go. I'm going to leave this here, so I have an extra one if you want to. It doesn't really matter. And let's add more of these. There we go. So just create a bunch of these, 11, 12, or something like that. So what's going to happen now is that this spline is going to be constrained to those two little things. There you go. So now it's all a matter of making sure the spline has fewer points. Now we have an adaptive subdivision, and these the divisions are unequal. So I'm going to convert this into a uniform, maybe a couple of points or 1 point. Now make sure whenever you change this, you go and you refresh this, right? So turn it off, create, turn it on again if you want to see it live. So let's see, now it's going to be even more rigid. Good. There we go. So the last thing is to create some sort of collider with a puppet, right? So that's going to be fairly simple. And yeah, we are going to make all these colliders. So let's go select them all, simulation tags and colliders. Rewind, press play, and we should have the rope colliding now with the rest of the body. A few more details. Let's find a way to make this a hose now. Now, while most people would choose the sweep, I prefer the not sweep. I prefer to get a cylinder and let's see if anyone's going to guess it, a spline wrap. The reason is that this way you have a constant number of points. I'm going to get rid of, just remove the caps because I couldn't care less. And you can see from the spline wrap that it's oriented here, this big arrow. I want it to end up or down. So make sure you select this and you go plus or minus. Y, let's make it thinner. Let's make it 5 or 3. That's the radius. And yeah, just drop the spline in this spline. There you go. Of course, we can subdivide it. That's not, just going to show you how it looks, right? So yeah, we do need more subdivisions on this. I assume we can actually do it. It depends on what the topology you want it, how much of it you want. Maybe, oh yeah, it was also the height segments were not too many. Okay, so let's set this to height segments 16. And so we don't need to touch the spline. The last thing I want to do is make sure we have a radius of 3 here. And you can see that at a certain point, we're going to intersect with the body. That's because we need to tell the rope, and the rope is here, that it has a radius of 3. So now it should coincide with the rest of that thing. Okay. Now, if you do want these to bend properly, you can also bind them to the object itself and make them move rigidly. But there you have it. This is one of many ways you can create something like a hose. Yes. Let's see if there are any questions here. Why not use? Oh yeah, we answered that. Why not use constraints? Okay. Let's see, Andre. Thank you very much. I do rock. I mean, I need to do whenever someone says that. I need to do this. Okay, just rocked a bit. Place suggest some improvements for future releases. The best way is, I'm sure, do all versions have it? Suggest updates, ideas, send ideas, or contact customer support. That's another way to do it. Yep, that would be my answer. Okay. Yeah, we're getting into weird territory sort of now with the rope. We can set this to 0, and it's going to be stiffer. And then to even stiffen it up more, you need to go to your simulation and increase the substeps. If you put 80, it's going to become significantly more stiffer at the cost of a slower simulation. This is just abusing the rope to do it. I'm pretty sure if you spend more than 10-15 minutes, you will find a better way of doing this. And yeah, yep, yeah. The way I would do this. So the question is the tips where they attached. Let me go full screen here. What I would do in this case, because currently we have, yeah, we have these. Let's see how far we can take it with these. Let's say I extend this even more. Is that going to bend? So you can see here, they're quite long. Let's see if these are going to bend as well. Is that stiffer, or is it just me? No, they still pivot over there. So what would be the other solution? Let me think about this. Can I rig a spline. Ah, I haven't done this. I'm not sure. Maybe I can. Let's get a end spline with 2, which we're going to make it into a line. Um, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I was hoping I'm replying to this. Um, more points. You just need 2 if they are rigid. If you add more, you may have more flexibility. Maybe. All right. Let me try Dean's suggestion here. All right. So let's go with that. So let me turn this off temporarily. Let's go to the spline and add more points. Let's say 8. Okay. We have a lot of little small points here. So now we're going to go here and reset this. And I'm going to exaggerate. I'm going to move this up. So and more than 20 of these. Oh, no, I don't want 200 of these. There we go. Anyway, so let's see if this is going to be stiffer. Maybe it is. No, it still tips over here. That is, we don't have rigid constraints. That is one of the hallmarks of this particular type of simulation. Anyway, let me see if we can rig something up rigid um, with rigid joints. So let me do a uniform here with let's say 64. I'm going to make it editable. Let me see if this is actually going to work. What I want to do here is pin. I may need more points here. So I'm thinking as I'm doing stuff. So US. Okay, so I'm doing that. Okay, and what if I take? Let's try this. I'm going to go character and get a single joint here. And I'm just going to go with a single joint, a single bone, so to speak. So one joint here and one here, and it's going to create this. And I'm going to bind this. Let's see if we can bind the spline, first of all. So I haven't done it for a long time, not sure. And let's bind it. Okay. So in theory, if I move this, the spline should move as well. So it is moving. Okay, let's see now. Now I have all these points here. I want for these ones to be simulated. So I'm selecting these points and I'm adding a vertex map. Okay, so vertex map, and I'm going to apply selected. So we have these points are 1 and these points are 0. And in my rope tag, let's go to simulation rope tag. I am going to mix animation pins and use this. Whatever is a value of 1, it means make that simulated. Let's see if this is going to work. Is it going to bow? Okay. Well, it's doing something. It's doing something. To what extent? Maybe it's a bit too floppy. It is too floppy. How floppy is this? This is uber floppiness. This is interesting. This is very, very, very interesting. Why is it so floppy? Let's go here and say bendiness. Yeah, stretchiness is close to 0. Bendiness, 0.1. Curly. I don't even know if curly is going to work. I'm just clicking on all the buttons. So that is interesting. While it appears to be working, there is actually no constraint between this portion of the spline and that portion of the spline. Yeah, which I find extremely interesting here. Yes, yes. It's not too many intermediate points. I mean, if this was, uh, it should stop at some point. Okay, yeah, I understand it stretching, but not this much. But always experiment. Okay, listen to your inner, listen to your inner self. I'm going to go here. Let's go and remove a lot of these points. Let's go and remove I'm going to leave only one over there, right? So whether it's correct or not, we will know in very few seconds, because I'm deleting a ton of these points. There you go. Ton of these points. So now, if it was the subdivided points, no, it's not. So there's an issue. Ooh, maybe we uncovered something here that is of interest, but it doesn't respect any kind of constraint. Target length, radius. No, let's do this. Stretchiness, 0, bounciness, curly, and all that nice stuff. Yeah. Okay. So this is something that needs investigation. Yeah, well, it doesn't work with pin. Now, one thing we could try is force because it's a bit kinder, but I don't know. No, it's the same problem. Force has the same problem. Okay, so there is some sort of issue. Good thing I'm going to report it just in case it's something I do not understand, but we're not getting any pushback from the constraints between the points. The object still has 64 intermediate points. Yes, between each point. Okay, you may have a point there. So Sorab observes, one of the people that are observing. So let's try that. I'm going to go with, let's say, 2 between all 3. Yeah, and he may be right upon this. There we go. Let's find all the points. There they are. And let's see who wins the cookie. It was Sorab that wins the cookie. Thank you very much. That's why I love every single one of you, because there you go. So now, thank you, brother. Thank you. Maybe we should feature you on the show one day. If anyone wants to come on the show, if you have things to say, let me know. There you go. So those are rigid enough, aren't they? Yep. So this technique will work. It will work. All you have to do is you have to bind a couple of parts of the spline to different parts of that body, and then it will work. So fantastic. No, the pleasure is all mine, Zorab. Fantastic. So yeah, that's how you do it. I have nothing to report to the developers, I guess, and that's cool. So let's see if there are any questions. Any questions? Oh, and yeah, Sezgin Motion also saw the points. Hi. Let's see. What else do we have here? I'm just reading through the comments. Well, I guess that is it for today. I think now is a time to do. Now is a good time to do the housekeeping, just in case you're interested. Oh, let me go. See, I start very quickly, and then my brain fades away. So let me find the appropriate pages here for all you. So first of all, to get to this page, please use this link down here. That's number one thing, so we can know where you came from. It makes Maxon know that people are watching the show. And in this page, you will find the various events that are going on and various links. And of course, the Ask the Question forum. Now, the Maxon Events page here shows you what's going on around the world with real life events and online events. Yeah, this guy frequents the airwaves. The Maxon Training Team YouTube channel is the channel where we host the recorded videos of this and all the other series. And all the videos contain timestamps and comments provided by our very good friend and mentor, Dr. Sassy. Thank you very much, Doctor. And yeah, if you want to watch them live, both Maxon Training Team and Maxon, VFX YouTube channels are available. You can go here and watch amazing presentations from amazing artists and artisans over here. People that always have things to teach me. Go to the Max on ZBrush YouTube channel to look at the absolutely stunning work that everyone is doing using ZBrush. Don't forget, you can use it on your couch on an iPad now. And of course, go to cineversity.com. And is this a coincidence that it's mostly me that comes up? I love to watch my own tutorials. It gives me a sense of being. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want to thank every one of you for hanging out with me today. Please go ahead, ask your questions. Um, and yeah, well, I don't have time to check out any more questions. Please send them through the link in the ask the question form, and I'll get to it in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being part of this. Now I need to find the buttons I need to press to close off this video. I think I found it. There's a QR code. Try it out.